Relax your body and relax your breathing and relax your mind. Just focus to the sound. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. So dear Dhamma friends, before we start our session, I will give some guidelines that may help you to practice yourself. So when it comes to meditation nowadays, it is a very famous word and everybody try to practice meditation. And when it comes to meditation, everybody knows it is something to do with the mind. So then what you have to understand in conventionally or eternally, or in as an ordinary person or in your spiritual life, if you need any kind of development or any kind of change, so that's why mostly you try to practice meditation. And as Buddha mentioned, Mano Pubbangama Dhamma, Mano Setta Mano Maya, the mind is the Purana, mind is the creator, mind is the chief. So then what you have to understand, when you sit for meditation, whatever the reason, maybe you need the peace, calmness, maybe you have to come out of your physical health condition, or maybe you need more better understanding in life, or maybe you want to get into the spiritual development and get into attain to high mental powers, so to get into the wisdom path. Somehow the very first principle that you have to understand, even though we need to use the mind, so whatever the present condition of the mind, we have to use for this practice. We cannot bring something from outside. And we cannot wait from something till happen. So the present condition of the mind you have to use. So when you use the present condition of the mind, you always have to remember not whatever happened in the past or whatever going to happen in the future. In this very moment, so you have to get into your practice with the present condition of the mind. So once you enter to the practice, the moment by moment, one of the skill that you have to keep develop, stay in the present moment with your mind, with your thoughts, rather than using the previous thoughts or your past experience. So to do this, just by thinking yourself, you cannot do. Why? Because of the already the condition of the mind sometimes not enough to get into the whatever the result you want. So that's where we need something else to focus. That is what the meditation technique that we're going to teach. So it is, that's why you need the primary mental object to direct all your thoughts towards that. Why? Because if the thought go back to thoughts, then your present condition going to remain. There is no change happen. But what we trying to do in the beginning, like when it come to one-pointed meditation or tranquility meditation or chitta bhavana or samatha meditation, so we trying to direct our all thought to one primary mental object, and then allow your all thoughts to settle down there. Once the thought settle down, what is happening in this very moment, in that very moment, you will experience certain kind of calmness, relax, comfort mentally. And that effect for your physical also. Why? Because the mind is all over your body. It is not in one place. Maybe the brain as an organ, maybe you can locate in one place. But the mind is related to entire your body. So then when your mind calm down, mean your entire physical body also calm down. So in tranquility meditation, once the mind get into a one point and then the tranquilize, so itself it help to calm down the body. Now the body calm down, and then so the mind calm down, and as a result of that, what is happening? Your breathing also calm down. When the breathing calm down, what is happening? Your thought patterns going to settle down slowly. Why? Because deeply our breathing, our body, our mind interconnected. So if you have a heavy, very tired physical body, that effect to have a very busy mind and also heavy breathing. When you have heavy breathing, that effect for your body to become heavy, and that effect for your mind to become busy. When you have busy mind, it effect for you to have that unpleasant body or very tired, lethargic, heavy body, and also it effect to have a heavy breathing. So that's why when the breathing becomes sharp and clear, the mind becomes calm and body becomes so relaxed and comfortable. That as you know, that in a certain level, little by little, when the body become calm down, it helps to calm down the breathing, calm down the mind. When the mind calm down, it helps to calm down the body, calm down the breathing. So interconnected. So it's same kind of like very nature of atom, electron, neutron, proton. This always moving, and each and everything help each other to move, to exist. So same thing with the body, breathing, mind. These three things interconnected and help each other. In tranquility meditation, what we does, so actually it is happening, we just allow it to happen. It is a natural process like a nerve system, as you know, sympathetic nerve system, parasympathetic nerve system. So it is autonomic nerve system. So according to the behavior of our body, naturally it is happening. So you allow your body, your mind to settle down itself. So then in tranquility meditation, the important thing is deeply, don't try to do anything. Why you try to do something? Can you stop that all doing parts and allow just to exist? That is the very basic level of meditation you have to understand. Not something doing, because in day-to-day life, we addicted to always do things and thinking even ourselves. So when it comes to meditation, without doing anything, just be aware, be mindful, just understand what is happening without involving or without interfere with the mental object. Learn to observe, and that's going to become very important, profitable skill yourself even. And even in day-to-day life, when two people talk, why you sometimes want to get into that conversation? And when two people may be uh, fighting, and why you want to get into involving with that, and maybe even things happening, even just watching TV or listening to music, dancing, why you just want to get into that? Can you just even watch somebody dancing without yourself dancing? And can you watch a movie without involving to the movie? So that is a very ancient method of way to develop the wisdom. That is one part of the art also. Without involving with the drama or the movie, you start to observe and understand what is happening there. But today it is not like that. Even you watch a TV and you watch movie, you watch a drama, and then you personalize characters. You personalize me, you involving in that. But when it comes to meditation, it's a very basic thing is you're not involving with even your own thoughts. You're not going to categorize. You allow things to settle down. And that way, the clarity going to become more sharp and clear. So then remember, in tranquility meditation, don't try to do something. Don't interfere with the natural process of your inhalation, exhalation. So here we take as our primary mental object, our inhalation, exhalation, and in front of your nose and your upper lip area. And when you observe inhalation as inhalation, exhalation as exhalation, little by little, let your mind to settle down itself, your body settle down itself, and you develop some certain calmness there. So if your mind go here and there in the beginning, bring it back slowly. And even it is go here and there, it is okay. That is the very nature of the mind. So you no need to get disturbed out of your own practice. You're not going to get disappointed out of your own practice. Just be relaxed. It is okay. But still keep going. Keep going. Whatever it's, wherever it's go 100 times, go here and there, bring it back 101 times. Then it's going to be slowly settle down. And try to calm down the mind. Taming the mind, calming down the mind. And you can bring it back again and let it to settle down. So that is the art that you have to develop. This is not a kind of like becoming aggressive, pushing yourself, overtaking, controlling yourself. No, don't get into that kind of attitude, even within your own thoughts. So once the mind able to focus to inhalation, exhalation, from there stay with the inhalation, exhalation. Don't allow it to go to your past or the future. That is the discipline that you develop. And you watch and you recognize you are in the present moment following the inhalation, exhalation. That become itself discipline. That's going to be the most highest and advanced discipline. Recognizing the mind and stay with it and guiding it. And to guide that to always to the present moment, you have to have the effort. That is the most powerful effort that you can put. So, and then the very next level, in the beginning, the very first step for the beginner sometimes, whoever joined with us today. So this is the inhalation, this is the exhalation. Learn to separately observe and don't, without interfering to that. And without adding any comments, making any suggestions and corrections. No, just allow to flow. And sometimes you feel inhalation, then you don't feel exhalation, because the way this is happening according to the condition of our physical body is sometimes different, and according to the weather, environment, it's different. Sometimes you feel heavy inhalation, exhalation very soft, and sometimes heavy exhalation, inhalation very soft. You sometimes in the beginning you cannot see, but exhalation is rough, and then you recognize it more easily. And then you wonder why I don't see inhalation, only exhalation. It is okay. If you see only exhalation, just see it. If you don't see any inhalation, exhalation, don't worry about it. Just wait. So like that, go with the moment without trying to make any without trying to make any corrections. So then the third step, so in the second step, follow entire continuation of the inhalation. This is the beginning, this is the middle, this is the end. Follow entire continuation. Inhalation, exhalation, the both. And the third step, when you observe this way, sometimes you experience some inhalation become longer, shorter, heavy, soft, exhalation the same. Each and every inhalation, exhalation difference. So just accept it in the very first level. That acceptance, develop a very good mental quality yourself. See, this become your character. That's the cultivation of the mind. That's why it's called for meditation, cultivation of the mind. You developing kind of like art and attitude inside your mind to go with its own natural process. So when you able to accept whatever the condition of the breathing as it is, and it make you more relaxed, calm and comfortable, moment by moment, moment by moment. That calmness brings clarity and awareness deeper inside you. That is what you need. So third step, you accept like that. And as a result of that, physically, you feel more comfortable, relaxed, and that relax can bring the joy and happiness. And then what is happening, sometimes your mind can bring kind of like a heavy thoughts. That's mean whatever happened yesterday, day before yesterday, or maybe whatever the plans that you keep doing, this kind of suddenly, without knowingly, without any indication, suddenly your mind can that take you away from the moment. So that is natural. So don't take it as a disturb. You know that. So then slowly bring it back again. Don't go with the thoughts. And sometimes very old memory can pop up. 10 years back, 20 years back, whatever happened, good or bad, this both can happen. So still remember, stay with the inhalation, exhalation. And sometimes without any reasons, your all emotion can vomit and then throw out of this body. And sometimes people cry, smile themselves, laugh loudly, and even sometimes people talk themselves, while they're practicing meditation without knowingly anything. The important thing, whatever happened, just allow it to happen. And enjoy yourself the path, and without agitating it or without accelerating whatever happening inside. Only thing is you aware, and whatever happened, don't go with it. Bring back your mind to inhalation, exhalation. And so the thing is, sometimes this kind of things happen, people get caught up in the tranquility state. As example, you feel numbness, and then you start to get out of your mental object, primary mental object, and start to think about that numbness. Maybe it is a very tiny place, like in your shoulder, your back, or somewhere you feel vibration, like, you know. So then what is happening? You, this is the first time you experience that. You feel so kind of like a wonder, oh wow, what is that? So then what is happening? You forget about you observing the inhalation exhalation here. Then you start to focus to that vibration. You get addicted, you get attached to that. So that is the deeply we attach to sensation. So then what is happening? You stay with it. Then you start to feel that vibration, little by little, little by little, little by little, go over all over your body. Of course, there is a vibration there. We are moving people. We have the energy always in our body. So don't go with it. You have to stay with the inhalation, exhalation. So these are kind of like a candy for children. Sometimes in the very nature itself, things happen. Don't go with. And sometimes, and some people suddenly they don't feel anything in the body. Physically, they don't feel anything. Once they get into to the the nimitta or the primary mental object, and maybe it happens suddenly and disappear, and then they become wonder what happened. It's like suddenly something happened and disappear. So then they start to think about it. Then what is happening? They go out of the meditation. So these kind of things, barriers, kind of like a hindrance ourselves in even in the tranquility state happening. And sometimes you feel dizzy, and like everything that the moving, and then you think it is a kind of, some people addicted to this kind of things. So sometimes you think, oh, it is a kind of you getting kind of like high mental powers now, everything, as you know, you may be not aware, this everything moving, the whole universe always moving. And when you feel kind of like a dizzy and things like that, that is not a high mental powers. The important thing is recognizing your own thoughts and its own behavior is the most advanced power that you can get to your mind. Remember that. Seeing yourself, observing and understanding and recognition. When a thought arises, see the roots and recognize the beginning of that thought and why that thought come to you like that. So that is the most powerful, not these outside things. So that's why you have to have discipline to break down these things in case if it is happen. So with that, little by little, when you stay on the path, what is happening in tranquility state, you completely settle down. Your breathing, your body, your mind, your thoughts, everything settle down to one level, and no disturbances going to be there, and you become more sharp and clear with your primary mental object. So that is a tranquility state of practice that you can gain, and for that way you can gain, for only for that moment you feel more relaxed, comfortable, peaceful, calm, only for that moment. But the vipassana is little bit different than this. But in the surface level, you have to develop this background. And then from there slowly, rather than staying there, spending time there, and go a little bit further. And when you observe the inhalation, exhalation deeply, rather than staying there and observe when the inhalation happens, exhalation happens, from here to entire body, the feelings change. Within each and every inhalation, exhalation, the entire bodily feelings change. But you no need to focus the whole body, just stay here, and then slowly, little by little, sometimes you recognize it, and how the whole body react according to inhalation, exhalation, and just see the change. and experience the change. Even seeing the change mean not, I don't mean from the surface level, just see the change, because that doesn't make us deeply that understandable or the wise. So get into the change and experience the change as you. So you, in between you and the change, there is no separation. So it's like this. Now you observe, this is inhalation, exhalation, this is your mind. Okay? And from here, you can observe how the inhalation, exhalation change. What I'm telling you to practice and do yourself in the Vipassana level, and little by little, close the gap in between observer and the object. Observer and the object. In a certain level, what is happening, the observer itself become the object, and the inhalation exhalation itself become the observer, and that is the moment in the Vipassana level that you're going to understand what is the meaning of impermanent. It is not intellectual experience, it is a completely different, and it is a completely different method of that recognizing something. It is not recognizing you watching from here, or I am here, it is there. No, there is no separation. Experience and experiencer. So in that level, just see that you will recognize the entire body. Why? Because the mind is all over your body. So when you experience this moment, when you recognize the change as yourself, feeling as you, your whole mind in that moment will understand that your whole body is there. And then from that place, once you get into that, you recognize, and according to the feeling, sensation also change deeply. The feelings happening, and behind that there is a sensation, and that sensation bring you kind of like thoughts. That thoughts and this all sensation, formation, feelings, that everything, when it come together, that you experience, oh, this is like this is like that, this is like this is like that. That is what happening moment by moment, moment by moment. All these five aggregates. So in the tranquility state, we go in the outside surface level of feelings. Inhalation, exhalation, long, short, beginning, middle, end, this outside. So in the Vipassana level, we go not outside experience, we go inner experience, mental experience. So that is the another difference in between samatha and tranquility. Samatha is that mostly surface level of experience, that you work with the surface level, and the Vipassana, you go inward with the mental feelings, with the mental behavior, with the mental change or the reactions. So it start from the inhalation, exhalation with the feeling, and follow the feeling and see how it change moment by moment. So that is what we're going to do. And if your mind go here and there, bring it back again and again. If that you want to adjust your body little bit, and then you can do it yourself, but still this you do for yourself. So bring some effort yourself and have some discipline yourself, and just a little bit practice. So in the beginning, we're going to practice a little bit samatha, and then from there we go to Vipassana. So your right palm on your left and neck head straight in one line, and be comfortable with your posture, and bring your attention to your body, and observe head to toes yourself and say Sopatveva, or may I be well and happy. 3 times. Take a moment and think. We gathered here in this moment to practice this ancient meditation technique. All the Buddhas, all the enlightened masters followed this path and achieved wisdom. So we also gathered here to accumulate that knowledge. In this moment, with this sitting, may my body become more comfortable, may my breath be more smooth, may no difficulties come to me, may all the success come to me. Also think for a moment, this is the last moment we are spending this very lifetime, and detach your mind from all your past memories and as well as any kind of future thoughts. Just try to remain in the present moment, observing the sensation of your inhalation, exhalation. So in the beginning, deeply inhale, exhale 3 times and find the sensation, please. And slowly observe the sensation happen, followed by the inhalation, exhalation. Do nothing extra. Follow the entire continuation of the inhalation and exhalation. See if you can notice the difference in between inhalation and exhalation. Some inhalation become longer, shorter, heavy, soft, warm, cold. Just accept it. Keep your attention to the sensation or the feelings happening, followed by the inhalation, exhalation, and follow the change, please. Bring my attention to your body. Focus your mind to your posture. We cultivate loving kindness and compassion in our heart and radiate it as a light. Through entire this compound, this village, this city, this state, this country, this world, and this universe. And as far as you can, through galaxies, other planets, stars, reminding yourself like this. Mentally repeat after me with clear intention yourself. May all living beings in this universe be well and happy. May everyone be happy and safe, and may their hearts be filled with joy. May all living beings live in security and in peace. Beings who are frail or strong, tall or short, big or small, visible or not visible, near or far away, already born or yet to be born. May all of them dwell in perfect tranquility. Let no one do harm to anyone. Let no one put the life of anyone in danger. Let no one, out of anger or ill will, wish anyone any harm. Expand the loving kindness and compassion beginning from your heart. Forward, visualize yourself and send it as a light to your backside, to your left side, and to your right side. Downward, and upward. To all six directions at once, like the moon, the sun, spread the light, spread the energy, without any condition, without any limitation, without any resistance, or without any judgment. Let your heart to shine with the loving kindness and compassion from the bottom of it, with the maximum effort to the highest. Wishing yourself, may all living beings in this universe be well and happy. Say sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. So dear Dhamma friends, so even though we practice this meditation, sitting ourselves in one place and closing our eyes, so whatever you practice with your mind, remember, it's going to be your life little by little, little by little. So especially when it comes to today, that as Buddha's teaching mostly, that it is very difficult, we can get into the nutshell, the, the, the bottom line, or the real purpose of the Dharma. Why that? Because it is our own culture, tradition, methods, the outside layers become hindrance. So then it is yourself, always you have to remember. Even though we go with this everything outside, it's your responsibility to get into the bottom line, or get the real meaning, or the understanding the right purpose. So if I put an example it like this, if you want to drink cup of tea, and you think about the cup, and you think about that all other necessary things around it, and sometimes maybe you go to a place and order a cup of tea, your main purpose is drinking cup of tea. But mostly sometimes we put aware that the attention to outside things. Maybe you get a nice cup and it has different very kind of royal design, and maybe you get a napkin, the fresh that kind of like uh, artwork in that napkin, or maybe you have some biscuits also around it. So and the place is so beautiful, you become more aware about these things. But how about when you take the cup of that tea, and when you take a sip, if you are not happy with the tea, if that tea doesn't make you comfortable, what's the point at that having that everything so beautiful? So the same thing with us also today. When it comes to the Dharma, you have beautiful Buddha statues, beautiful temples, and everything around us, so nice. And the Tripitaka in different methods. You can get the book, and you can get the CD, you can get the tabs, and you can get into pen drive. And it's all the beautiful things. We have to appreciate that. And when you go online, that anything that you can find related with the teachings. But when you close your eyes, if you don't recognize something just by yourself, what is the point that this outside everything? What is the point that you build? You have temples, huge Buddha statues, so very beautiful places, like a garden, kind of like a create heaven. What's the point? When you close your eyes, when you have a thought yourself, if you don't have the clarity within that inner yourself, forget about this all. So that is the basic point that you have to understand. And sometimes it's not a kind of like it is not a kind of radical thinking, but it's always come to a point When it, because that all this other everything, culture, traditions, it create culture. And that culture create boundaries. You cannot escape from that. It's the culture bound to time and the material things. And that all activities is time bound. And by the time that thing, but the Dhamma itself, timeless, akaliko. There is no time for that. There is no place for that. It is universal and timeless. So now you develop a method time bound to get into timeless something. See that how it is different. So completely we go in two different ways. The culture, tradition, and that things important, that things need for us. But at the same time, if it is bound by the time and bound by the divisions and bound by the traditions, and you cannot get into the bottom line. But if you able to get into the bottom line, that other things going to be adjust and settle down according to that. But ourselves is spending so much time to protect the tradition and protect the methods and these things, but still we not able to get into or the touch the bottom line or the real meaning of it. And then we lose the point. So that's why it is your responsibility. So if I give you another analogy, so when it come to the teachings, why this meditation is kind of like the important thing. Of course, other things important. It's like this. You find 100 Buddhas, and you find 100 Buddhas somehow. It is very difficult to do that. But you find alive 100 Buddhas. See, 100 Buddhas how? Even we know it's kind of like, that 28 Buddhas. How about if you find 100 Buddhas? So you find all the 100 Buddhas alive and you invite to the whatever the place, wherever you are. And you that cultivate yourself or do all the farming, vegetable grow and rice, everything you grow yourself. And then you make a dana for the 100 Buddhas. And you offer it from, you cook yourself, you do the farming, and then you cook yourself, and then you offer from your own hand with the great respect and with the great faith, without greed, hatred, or the delusion, to all the 100 Buddhas. And you gain a lot of merits. But if you are able to get into one inhalation or one exhalation, and you deeply observe how the feelings change, sensation change, and formations change, and consciousness change. And if you able to recognize this process within the 5 aggregates, how within one breath, how these 5 aggregates change, that is more powerful than that 100 Buddhas that you get, the dana that you gave. You can go to sutras, and there are some sutras you can find if you want that the Buddha talk about this, the dana and the loving kindness meditation, and the power of the recognizing vipassana. And all the deities will appreciate when you give dana to 100 Buddhas. But if you are able to get into your own experience, if you are able to understand one inhalation, how the from form to feeling, sensation, formations, consciousness, and change and the process very clearly. And all this deities in heavens not bow, knee down in front of you. That much it is powerful. It's in scriptures. Why it becomes so powerful? And that is the 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 essence of the Buddha's teaching. You have to get into that. That is the bottom line. Remember that. Other everything we have to do that. But somehow try to get into that. Because the point is this. That is the moment that, as we know, that we have saying there's no pain, there's no pain, no gain. So that means without any pain, there's no, you cannot get anything. So in conventional life, and you follow that. But when it comes to the vipassana level of this recognition, you know what is happening? No pain, all gain. You get everything, but no pain. So that is the beauty of that method. In conventional life, you have to pay a price to get something. But in the eternal level, if you're able to get into this art and no pain, but you gain all, how it is happening? This is how it is happening. So this is a problem, and this is solution. That is what in the conventional life. And always there is something, and we trying to recognize it from some place, and we trying to get into that. So the time, space, thoughts, this everything in there. That is the very nature of conventional life we call world. It's bound by time and space. So according to your space, according to your moment, and the point of view going to be different regarding whatever. It is even that scientifically also, they know that whatever you see in front of this, your computer or your cell phone or whatever, then according to the position that you carry, what you see is going to be different. The difference means your total experience cannot get somebody else from somewhere. That should be exactly in your place. So like that, we have in life problems and solutions. And our struggle, our living means we always struggle in between this and moving here and there, problem towards the solutions towards the problem. But when you get into the vipassana level of deeper observation, what is happening, as I mentioned, the observer and the object, when that two things become one, the observer also become what you observe. So the same thing, you have problems in life and there are some solution exist somewhere. So then what is happening when you, how about you come closer, in the vipassana level. What is happening? This problem and solutions become one. That is what happened. Your problems and solutions all become one. How about that? Think about it and try to understand, because I cannot teach the kind of like by words that much, because if I try to go that way, it's I try to, it kind of like maybe you condition your mind. No, you have, I just can give example, that's it. You have solution somewhere, and that is what you, then you have problems, you struggling with this all. How about you come to a point your problems and solutions synchronized together. So in the Vipassana level, that is the total experience that you gain when it comes to the moment of recognition that what is this, the experience and the change. And then the experience also become itself change. And that is where that yourself, not about others. Remember, within, because in the Vipassana, as I mentioned from the beginning, in the Vipassana, we experience from inward our own experience, from feelings to recognition, consciousness, awareness. So this is the inner mental experience. So in that experience, so what is happening? So whatever the emotions or the thought patterns, mental formations or the sanskara that come to arise us, and in that very moment, in that very place, we're not going to resist that anything. And you become non-violence related with your own thoughts. That is the beautiful experience that you can get, becoming non-violence with your own emotions, with your own thoughts. Why people become violent? That we talk about non-violence in the world, it is a very fancy word today. And people go and do march, and see people demonstrate, and they try to show it in different ways. It is good, but it never picks any problems outside. It's what happened that all that activities create the accelerate the power of this outside current. So that's what we experience every day. So then yourself, how about that you deeply recognize the mechanism of the experience, the feelings, sensation, formations, and consciousness or cognition or the understanding. In that very level, in that process, you develop non-violence. And that non-violence is the most powerful, that non-violence, if you can practice, becoming non-violence within your own thoughts. No even any single thought. But to get into that, what you have to do, your thoughts and you both need to come to the point, synchronize. And that is where you become non-violence with the thoughts. It's kind of like a Cinderella path. It's kind of like a Cinderella story, but still, there is a possibility. If you able little by little, practice yourself. By practicing, you can gain into that. But you need certain understanding also regarding the path. That's why we talk like this. That's why trying to give you certain understanding regarding the path. But that doesn't mean, by hearing doesn't mean it's going to happen to you. Only thing, but by practice yourself little by little, there is a possibility you can get into that. So that is when you have a moment that you become non-violent regarding your own thoughts or regarding your own emotions or regarding your own, whatever the things happening in you. And with the clarity, if you're able to recognize the change, that is the best moment that you can experience as a human being in this very lifetime. It is possible. It is worthwhile both to your whole this sacrifice. So that is the moment that you come to a point without any pain, you get all. So with that, I tell you a story. And there was a person, and he had a voyage. So in his boat, he traveling through the ocean. What happened? He get into a this huge waves and tornado, and his boat destroyed. So somehow he get into a piece of wood and found a island in the middle of the ocean, and no man island. So he was appreciate himself, somehow he survived there. And then he start to go and walk here and there and try to survive himself. And while he, 1 day, 2 days, 3 days, and what happened, little by little he became more comfortable with the place. And when he go here and there, and he start to collect the little things and the dry woods. So then spending many days, somehow he able to make fire. So now he create a little hut himself, and in that hut he protect that fire and bringing all the dry woods and start to maintain the fire. And at the same time, while he going here and there, and he collected certain food and certain kind of uh, valuable things, whatever he thought he may can use it in the future. So now that little hut became his place. He became more comfortable with that. And then what happened one day? He went out, and when he come back, that whole hut got fire, and then they start to burn. And this person was so disappointed and cried, and blaming to all the the heavenly gods and all the believings, that he was so mad and angry. And he told himself, and I kept that I destroy my journey, and I came here and I just start a little bit to be comfortable and protect myself in this little hut. Now it also burned. So why this happened to me like this? What is the karma like this to punish me like this? So he start to become so unhappy. And somehow, and he got so tired and he sat down. The, and then he saw after a while, there was a ship come towards that island. And then he was so happy to see that after this all miserable things happened, and now something, to be happy himself. And then somehow this ship able to rescue him, took him back, and on the way he now get food and necessary treatment, and little by little he became more comfortable. And then he asked from captain, so why you do this for me? So why you found out that, why you come to me like this and rescue me? And then the captain told, while they used to travel in that path all the time, and while this time when they travel, and they saw a fire, smoke, and the captain was very familiar with the path, and he knew there is no way that the people are going to be then. But when they saw the smoke, they thought there is something. And then the captain told, okay, let's go and see what is this, because this path is very familiar. We go every month back and forth. So then they found this person and rescue him. See, sometimes you come to a point you lose everything, but to rescue yourself, you have to lose that. It going to shine, bring a sign. It going to indicate to the other side that what you need. Maybe from our point of view, we don't see that. So in day-to-day life, in conventional life, remember yourself, whatever happen, always keep your head up and never try to look down yourself. Never try to give up your hopes. So as conventional, ordinary people, we need that. So in day-to-day life, maybe you lose that or everything what you have, and maybe you think that is the end of your life. And maybe you blame to all the heavenly God or the karma and all the people, you curse to everybody around you and thinking you lose everything. And maybe that is the beginning of your next chapter. So without turning the page, we cannot go to the next chapter. Always remember, when the moment comes for you to change the page in your life of this book, and don't afraid, with the happy, with the clear mind, just move forward. So with that, I bless upon everyone with this all the good practice. May all of you be well, happy and peaceful. May no harm come to you. May no difficulties come to you. May no problems come to you. May you also have the patience, courage, understanding, and determination to meet and overcome inevitable difficulties in your life. During this time period, may everyone stay healthy and safe. And finally, may all of you attain supreme bliss of Nibbana. Sabbityo vajjantu sabbarogo vinassatu mate bhavatantarayo sukhi dikayuko bhava. Ittavata cha amnehi sampadam punya sampadam sabbe deva anumodantu sabba sampatti siddhya sabbe bhuta anumodantu sabba sampatti siddhya sabbe satta anumodantu sabba sampatti siddhya idam me punya kammang asavakkaya vahang hotu sabba dukkha pamuncatu. Bless you.